This thing right here is currently my favorite belonging when it comes to reselling, maybe other than this camera. When I first started reselling, I would use an iron to get out wrinkles in clothing before photographing it, and I think that was by far not the best way to do it. I think this kind of a steamer is what you want. From the iron, I upgraded to one of these hand steamers, not this one, actually a much smaller and worse hand steamer than this. And then I found this at a Goodwill a while ago for $4.99, which I thought was a great deal. I thought that I was winning because I got this as seen on TV hand steamer that weighs 800 pounds and is loud and annoying. The way this one works is you put water in here and then it's very awkward. You have to fit it under the faucet and then it spills out, and the hole is at an angle, so the water tension, surface tension is holding it in, and then it gets everywhere. It's really weird. And then you have to turn it on here, and then you also have to find somewhere to hang the clothing up. I hated using this thing, and it ended up just not being used. I would just list stuff wrinkled, which I actually still do. But when it really matters, having this unit here is the difference between steaming it and not steaming it. And when you do steam it, you probably do end up selling the thing faster and for a little bit more money. So here's how the unit works. Here's my kitchen. My mini herbs and spices. Is this a good angle? So this is on a hose, just a metal thing with holes in it, and then you follow that hose down, and here you have your floor unit. This is what the steamer actually looks like. This is, let's see, a Jiffy steamer. This was a Christmas gift, so I don't know how much these cost. I think probably around $100. I think it's worth it. And here's how you operate it. You just kick it on, and then you wait a couple minutes. This will keep steaming continuously until you kick the switch off. And I think that's like half a gallon of storage capacity for water. So with the handheld units, you have to continuously keep refilling it, going to your kitchen or getting a water pitcher and refilling it wherever it is that you're steaming. This thing, I have to refill almost never. And this stand, you can hang the shirt or whatever up and steam quite easily. Here's a white t-shirt. It's a good example. You can probably see this is pretty wrinkled, and if I were to take a photograph of this as is, it would be noticeably wrinkled up. I just give it a quick steam like this, being careful to attempt to not burn my fingers. And usually I'd be using both hands. It's like a magic wand. You just wave it over, and ideally you would be using your other hand to stretch this fabric out. But the wrinkles just kind of fall out. You don't have to iron. Ironing, you can leave burn marks on the fabric that looks all glossy and weird. You see it on dress shirts a lot when you're listing them under the fluorescent lights. You can actually damage the clothing. It's pretty hard to do much damage with the steamer. Even if you get water on the fabric, it's almost never a problem. And even doing this one-handed, you can tell that it's working. This is much faster than ironing as well. You're not going to get it as immaculate, but you don't need it to be completely immaculate to sell the thing. This is a great thing to have if you have death piles. You don't want to just pull the thing out of the mountain of clothing, throw it up on the wall or the floor, wherever it is that you take your photos, and snap it when it's all messed up and wrinkly. It's also nice to have if you have had something in storage for a while and it has acquired wrinkles in the bin, something like a suit, which don't do. I've made that mistake before of storing suits in bins folded up. It does not pan out well, but you can just wrinkle it before you fold it and ship it. You do have to kind of let these air dry a little bit, but I'll just hang them up. Just do a bunch in a row, then hang them up. This is good to do for light colored garments. It works really well with linen especially, and with wool. It's pretty easy. The wrinkles just fall right out. Cotton, and polyester can be a little bit tougher. But if an item is really, really, really wrinkly, and if it's a nicer piece, I will bother to steam it. If it's just some t-shirt, unless it's something like this that's white and you can really, really tell that it matters, sometimes you can just get away with not doing it. I feel like on paper, the best policy is to steam and prep all of your clothing before you photograph it. In reality, I don't know that it's always worth the time investment. Something like a hoodie, it's just not gonna matter as much unless it's really bad. It's thin fabrics and light fabrics like this where it does make the biggest difference. Some people advocate hanging your clothing up in the bathroom and running a hot shower. I've never found that to work. There are also steam closets that are really expensive. I kind of have it in the back of my head of doing some DIY project where I get an old metal cabinet of some kind and cut a hole in the bottom and stick one of these up there and kind of turn it into a steam closet. I think that could potentially work. The idea there being you just hang a bunch of stuff up, turn it on, and it fills with steam and kind of hot boxes it into being de-wrinkled. And that would actually be really nice and time saving because you could just throw the stuff in there and forget about it. But this is, I think, a good trade-off to labor in and results out. So something to think about. Thanks for watching.